Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Beela coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 6, Episode 21, Lose to Win. I also dropped the trailer. Well, I did a trailer reaction to the new Season 7. Some things I got right, some things I got wrong. Hopefully my predictions may come true. I don't know. This is Tyler Perry, but he has new writers, so we never know what's going to happen. And I did notice that a lot of people are exiting stage left. Like we didn't get to see Calvin. Preston isn't in the episode. Of course, Q is gone. So it's like they're doing a lot of cleanup now. So we're going to get into the episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. If you get anything out of my commentary, here we go. So it picks up where it left off. Now, we all know that prior to this conversation, Hayden did ask Gary to vet Tamara for him. Gary said he couldn't find anything. But now, on this day, I guess maybe he used another PI. I'm not for sure, but he has information. He gives the information to Hayden, and this is what happened. So Gary is just like, sorry, she set you up. And then Hayden's like, what, Fatima set me up? Hayden said he don't believe her. He don't believe him. And Hayden also says, so you really coming for me like that? You filed. You filed for coming at me like this. Gary said you asked me to vet her, but then Hayden says, yeah, but I wanted to vet her too. He says, because Tamara is, and then Gary says, oh, I was like, okay. But Gary is like, now that I gave you all this proof, you can go ahead and get an annulment. But Hayden still doesn't believe it. He tells Gary that he can leave. He also tells Gary that he's jealous of him and his relationship because now everything is going wrong in his life. He trying to come over there and mess up up Hayden's life. And Gary said, why don't you just ask Fatima? Matter of fact, go in the house and ask Tamara. Go ask her. But Hayden's like, no, Gary, you can leave. And then he says, I don't want to be your tax lawyer anymore. And then Hayden goes back in the house. He's upset. He don't want to fool with Gary no more because he feel like Gary lying and Gary's blowing up his spot. So I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. So now he goes back into the house and he talks to Tamara. He says, hey, Tamara, do you know Fatima? She like, who? Fatima Wilson. Do you know Fatima? And she was like, oh, the woman at your office. And Hayden said, oh, okay, so now you know her. And then Tamara says, well, I mean, I heard you talk about her. I heard you talking to her, but I mean, I really don't know her. And he brings up Gary, and he says that Gary is the one that says that she knows Fatima. And so Tamara, she puts on this act at first. So she's like, I've been meaning to talk to you about Gary. Gary doesn't want to see you happy. And then Hayden is like, but I know him. And she was like, you know me. Tamara, I don't know you, but I know him. And then that's when Tamara gets into, but don't I make you happy? She said, I can make you happy right now. And then Hayden is like, you did? And she's like, you did? I mean, I do. Hayden is like, no. And then he says, if I find out you know her, then our HE double is going to break loose. I promise you. Tamara said, don't threaten me. And he's like, well, what? Or I will leave, because I thought she was finna show her hand. But child, did she not show her hand? Because I didn't know she was going to say all this. Okay, so Hayden feels like he got the upper hand, right? So he talking with his chest. He said, now come over here and sign these papers. We going to, about these annulment papers. And she was like, I'm not going to sign it. He was like, yeah, you are. You're going to sign it. What's the problem? You need to sign these papers. But Hayden is, Tamara is like, no, you short, little, scrawny, man. And then she says, I got you coming and going, and I'm not signing nothing. She said, I'm not a dumb little girl. And she says, we're married. She said, I'm taking half of everything you got. I said, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then Hayden kind of, you do that swallow like, hold on, wait, what? Hayden said, now, I'm a lawyer, right? She said, I know you a lawyer. And she said, and I know a lot of lawyers too that she get it in real good. And then Hayden said, so you like that? She says, yes, I'm like that. And you like that too. I said, ooh. So you one of them, ooh. Oh, it's okay, Hayden. You thought you had it, didn't you? But you don't. Then Tamara says, I don't know Fatima, but what she say? But you a little weak man. Now you go back to work and you go make that money because you know we need it. I said, oh, you need to go and make that money because y'all need it. I said, Hayden, dang, is she pimping you? Oh man, I didn't know whether to feel sorry for Hayden. No, I don't. I don't feel sorry for Hayden at all. I was like, Hayden, this is what you get because you put yourself inside of Fatima's and Zach's business and even Andy's business for so long. The chickens have come home to roost, and that's what you get. So you need to take your little scrawny self on down to the office and do some lawyering and bring Tamara back that check. Okay. All right. Yeah. I thought that was the best. To me, that was the best season of this whole episode. Everything else I could have went to sleep on. But anyway, let's get into it some more. So Sabrina goes over to see, her boss. And they're happy to see each other, all the pleasantries and all of that stuff. So the boss is like, I'm glad it's over. Sabrina says she's glad it's over as well. And then she said that she know that Sabrina is innocent. And she knows that Sabrina is innocent. And Sabrina wants to know if she was going to get her job back. So the boss was just like, yeah, you can get your job back, but you're not going to get your job back at where she was at before. She's going to be in the downtown area, and the downtown area is a bit, is busier. So Sabrina is happy about that, that she got her job back. But anyway, so she asks about Maurice, and then Maurice lost his job, and the boss lady, she really didn't care. She was like, this is partially his fault. Maurice knew Q. Maurice lived with Q. And plus, he got a lot of complaints down there at the bank anyway. So this led me to believe that if Maurice robbed the bank or not, he was going to get fired because he was already getting complaints at the job because he was acting inappropriate. I was like, see, Maurice, are they homophobic too? You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. Yeah. So Sabrina felt really, really bad. And she was just like, are you going to tell him? The supervisor was like, no, I'm not telling him nothing. You can tell him. That's your friend. I was like, gosh, she kind of cold, right? But anyway, so she was just pretty much like, nope, we not bringing him back. And it is what it is. So let's go over here and get some coffee. I said, oh. And Sabrina gonna walk over to me, okay, well, let's get some coffee. I said, that's it? That's it, that's all. Maurice ain't got no job. And we find out a little later that Sabrina actually did get demoted because at first she was a manager at this branch, but now she's going to be assistant manager over at the other bank. But I look at it like, at least you got a job. You ain't out here looking like Maurice. So, yeah. All right. So now we have Zack and Fatima. And I tell you, when I tell you they have the same conversation every episode, I told y'all this on my last review. They have the same conversation every episode to where it's really, I'm like, okay, y'all gonna say something else? All right. So they wait on the lawyer to come up to give them the news about baby Michael because we know that the lawyer had went to go in deliberation with the judge in regards to the custody of baby Michael. And so Zack is on edge. He's nervous. And then he says the same thing. Oh, how can you put up with me? And when ain't a lot of women that'll put up with me like this. All this. Oh, I'm so sick of that conversation. It's stupid at this point. And then Fatima just like, it's a lot of women that'll put up with a lot more than what she deals with. And yeah, as long as you treat me right, you be there for me. I'm gonna meet you where you are. The whole uplifting. I got my man back through thick and thin conversation. All right. So the lawyer comes in and gives them bad news. No, it did not go well. And then Zack is like, oh, because they didn't have any reports from the DFCS. And then Fatima is like, nah, they did. And then Fatima asked, what about the neighbor? The judge didn't even want to hear the neighbor's testimony, which I thought was not cool. Like, so you want this baby to be in a situation to where he's being abused and beaten and all the, what I'm saying? All this and all of the above. So Zack is really sad because he don't know what to do. And then the lawyer is just like, he's seen cases like this before. They're going to try to do everything they can do. And then Zack is in his bag. He's mad, but he's just looking at it like, well, you don't care because that's not your son. But the lawyer like, no, it does. I still care, even though it's not my son. You can't really put that on me. But he said he's going to do everything he can do. Fatima says she's going to do everything she can do. And just to get this baby home. So Zack apologizes to the lawyer and, tells him, he's sorry for being all snappy and all that stuff. So the lawyer leaves. And Zack is just asking Fatima, like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do? And Fatima says, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. We just going to have to figure it out. And she's reassuring him that everything is going to be fine. Then Hayden walks over. Do I got that picture? Hayden walks over. He mad. Fatima! I said, who you hollering at? We are in a place of business. Can you lower your voice? Scrawny man. All right, so Fatima like, you calm down. So do you know Tamara? She like, who? What are you talking about? Who you? Don't let me find out. He making all these threats. Zack like, hold on, wait. You need to calm down, buddy. Like, you not finna be over here raising your voice and coming at my girl like this. Today is not the day. Don't play with me. She like, don't play with me either. Today we just got bad news about baby Michael. I will blow up any minute now. Mind your business. But Hayden like, don't make me find out that you know her. Okay, whatever. Andy comes in, breaks up the conversation. Hayden, you need to leave. Go ahead, being disruptive. So Hayden walks off. Andy comes over. Oh, but Fatima was trying to hold Zack back because he said, you a few minutes for me jumping on your tail. So, but Zack, Fatima calms Zack down. Zack leave. Andy's there, calms everything down, and then Hayden ends up leaving. So Fatima like, yeah, dog, like shoot, and Andy looking like what? Like he know, he know or whatever. So Andy looking like what? Like this? So this all the scheme that Todd came up with to come to us with this mess. Okay, but anyway, so as they talking about it, Fatima's trying to wrap her mind about her next move, and then Fatima look over and she tells Andy, "Hey, Jordan's here. He's here to take you out to lunch." So, all right, Jordan comes up, then they end up going to lunch. So that's pretty much what that is. All right, so now you have this whole scene with Karen and contractor Brian. They go into the new place. Karen likes the place. She's just like, this is really nice. And Brian just telling her, this can be your new salon. You can set your stuff up over here. You put your sinks, your bowls, your outfits, all this stuff. He's just trying to see her vision. And Brian says he knows he says that he says it's not a lot of work that can go into it. It's pretty much just what's the word? Just a little paint here, paint there. Just clean up and fix up or whatever. Not even like fix up, but make it pretty aesthetically. And so he said he knows somebody and it can be up in 4 months. And then she's like, 4 months, that's good. But, what about the price, like the down payment? So Karen asking all these questions. And he was like, you know what? It's the same as you're paying in rent. And he was just like, you can really get this. Don't you want to be one of those women that says, I own my salon, I own the land that is built on? And she's just like, yeah, it sounds good to her. And Brian says, I know the owner. The owner, I believe he's the owner. For some reason, I feel like he's the owner. But he says he knows the owner and he will probably work with her about the down payment. And, just keep in mind, this gonna be something that you could be proud of. And so then Brian says, you remind me of my mother. I said, dang, Brian, you just met this woman 2 or 3 times. So now she reminds you of a mother. You remind me of something. My mother. Anyway, so I'm like, okay. And so Karen is like, yeah, I'm your mother. And then he goes into this whole, yeah, because you're Karen. Well, not Karen, that Karen, the Caring Karen. You're kind, you're paid, all these old different accolades that he ain't met her but 3 times, and he just sees all this good stuff in her, and he's just making her feel good about herself. And she's like, okay, well, I would like to meet your mother. And he said, yeah, maybe we can, fix that up sometime. Maybe we can, set that up. And I'm just like, so Brian, you want this woman to meet your mama? Okay. All right. All right. Well, this is a hardworking woman. She's a single mom. And she reminds you of your mother. Well, I guess they need to meet. I don't know what else to say. But Karen goes on and tells Brian that he seems like he's a good guy. And then Brian looks at her and asks her, like, so are you doing this alone? Are is your the kid's father in your life? And then she's like, yes. Well, sometimes. But Brian is just like, because when she said yes, he kind of like got sad, like, dang, I ain't gonna be able to get with her. That's how I was looking. That's how to me he was looking when, she was like, yes. Then she said sometimes. And then he was like, okay, well, then he changes it and says, well, if you need us, like him and his wife, they will be happy to be like a lending shoulder for her while she pregnant. And I guess after she had a baby. Okay, I got a question, y'all. Oh, he brings up, do she have a realtor and all that stuff? And she says no, right? But he goes over, he talks get on the phone to, I guess figure out the particulars when it comes to this whole salon. But I got a question. Do y'all think that Brian is really married? Please answer that in the comments. Do y'all really think that this man is married? Do y'all think he's the owner of this building? Then I saw in the comments that somebody says that he may be some kin to Aaron. Like maybe Aaron is behind all of this. Do y'all believe that? Because a part of me feels as if he's this really rich guy. He owns all these buildings, and he wants to know if this is in my mind. He just wants to know if he can find somebody that he could like just for him. Because now he's just saying he got these 7 kids and he do all this stuff. He got this wife, but he is so giving to Karen. Like he gives her advice. He lifts up her spirits. He knows she pregnant. He ain't worried about that. He takes her to buy this building. He's putting in good words for her. Like, it's almost like he's trying to see if Karen will date him without saying, will you date me? I don't know. It just seems as if for a married man, he's taking a lot of liberties when it comes to Karen. I mean, yes. Meeting your mama? Come on. Like, really? I don't know. I kind of feel like he making up this whole Mary situation just to, as a disguise. And then maybe in the future, he gonna just let it out like, I'm not married, I'm not this, I'm not that, I really liked you, and all this other stuff. That's what I think he gonna do. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because, yeah, he don't never had none of his kids with him. Anyway, let's move on from Karen. All right. So, Zack is in the car. He gets a phone call from Fatima asking, how he's doing and all of that stuff, right? So then while he's talking to Fatima, he gets a phone call from Karen. He don't want to pick up the phone because he thinks that Karen is on some mess. But Fatima says, go ahead and pick up the phone. So he clicks over and Karen is just like, hey, Zack, whatever. You know about real estate, don't you? You have a realtor, don't you? And and Zack is like, yeah. Well, can you give me that person's number? Because he tells her the name. And she said, well, can you send me the number? And he's like, yeah. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. All right. And so they get out the phone. I said, ooh, see, you over there act like you don't want to answer that phone and she ain't even want number. I don't think she wanted was that realtor number. Sure. Anyway. So he gets out the phone with Karen, clicks back over with Fatima, and Fatima's like, so what she want? Tell me she want the number to the realtor. Fatima said, did you give it to her? He was like, yeah. And then Zack said that was kind of strange. She was like, strange child. Tell me she was being nice. Okay. Well, keep her in that space because we trying to keep her in a good space so we ain't got to be worried about you in this upcoming child support. But if Contractor Brian is who is who I think he is in my head, they probably end up dating and he rich, so he ain't going to need none of Zack money. And I believe Zack going to get slick jealous because it's going to be this whole nother man, if not, this baby comes out to be his because we know in the trailer Karen took another DNA test. So yeah, may or may not be. So it is what it is. And then maybe she'll be happy to tell Zack this ain't your baby because she got a potential man in Brian that'll pick up the pieces. But anyway, enough of that. So now we have Sabrina and Maurice. So Sabrina goes over to Maurice's house and, she looking kind of sad because she got to break the news to Maurice that he ain't got no job no more. And so Sabrina said he had the meeting. Maurice says, what, you had it with the African? And she was like, no, that's not funny. Don't say it like that. And then Sabrina tells him that she had something to say. Maurice said, don't come to me with no bad news. Sabrina says that she ended up getting she got her job back. She's going to be working at the downtown branch. And Maurice is like, oh, well, that's good news. Shoot. He told me he got to go get a new wardrobe. And that's when Sabrina says, well, I'm going, but you're not. You didn't get your job back. And and Maurice is just like, oh, really? Huh. So you got your job back and I didn't get mine. And then that's when Sabrina says, well, they feel like you had something to do with it. You was laid up with Q and then you had other customer complaints. And so Maurice is just like, but that's my personal business. And then he also says Q is still affecting him even to this day. He's in jail and I'm still, losing my job. It's like a trickle down effect at this point. And so Sabrina says, Sabrina asks like, so what are you going to do? And he says he is going to sell his milkshake for money. I said, okay, not the milkshake. And so Sabrina says that she's going to try to help him. But now she lets him know that she's the assistant manager. And he says that, you got demoted? But she says that there was already a head manager there. So, but Maurice says he going to sue. He said, because it's not right. What I do in my personal life is my business. So he going to sue. But Sabrina is just like, look, just leave it alone. Collect your unemployment and just apply at another branch. And Sabrina says no matter what happened, she gonna be there for him. And Maurice tells her thank you. But the thing about that is he works at a bank and he was just dang near indicted for bank robbery. Even though he's innocent, even though he didn't do anything wrong, but just for the simple fact that he was in that situation and his own bank didn't hire him back, that's bad. Like, that's a bad paper trail when it comes to jobs. Because, like I had told a story a while back that, somebody had got into some trouble. She was innocent, but it's on her record that she stole something that she didn't steal. So it was hard for her to get a job. So I can just imagine how hard it's going to be for Maurice, especially when he was actually with Q. So, well, hopefully he'll figure it out and don't have to sell his milkshake to all the boys in the yard. All right, so now you have Andy and Jordan. They actually go downstairs in the office building to grab lunch. Jordan says he didn't think that this was her type of vibe, a place that just got, I guess, them type of paper cloths on it or whatever. And Andy is just like, I'm just, here because Andy doesn't know how to feel. Andy, in the back of her mind, she still haven't sorted out her feelings when it comes to Gary. And she got this man in her face. And to me, she really don't want to be there. But Jordan thanks her. And she's like, thank you for what? Oh, Andy says she has hot sauce in her bag. That's why she eat at places like that. But okay, whatever. Jordan thanks her and she wants to know for what. And he says, I know that this has been painful for you as well. You know how you handled the situation. And he said, I didn't want your sister to find out like that, but she just walked in on us talking. And Jordan says, my sister still wants to talk to you, Andy. Do you want to do that? Because she's really trying to fill in the blank. She's a data analyst. I used to be a data analyst before I became an accountant. But anyway, she's a data analyst and child likes to look at stats and all these other stuff. Child, just a bunch of numbers, trying to get them together at the end of the day. And but Andy is just like, at the end of the day, I dated him too, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that's going on. And she says, I'm a pretty smart girl, but she got fooled too. That Gary was dating both of them at the same time. And Andy is just like, I don't know. She's not really ready to meet up with Jordan's sister. She's not ready to see Penelope like that. Okay, so they get off of that, and then Jordan says, well, I really do want to take you out again at a real nice restaurant. And they made dinner plans. So yeah, they're going out to dinner. And now you have Danny and Tony. All right, so Danny at work, Tony sees her, and yeah. He asks her how's everything going. She says, being funny, talking about his business, busy in the place. And Danny then says that she don't know if she's going to be able to keep her job because the way the airport business is going, I'm not really for sure. I don't know if it's not busy or busy enough. I don't know why she feel like she wouldn't be able to keep her job because people are flying every day. So I really didn't understand that part. Maybe this is a setup because in the season trailer, I believe that Danny is actually going to work with Tony. Oh, that would make a lot of sense. Because if she quits, because this is the second time he propositioned her a job to work with him. And if she takes him up on that offer, and then if she dates him, because in this scene, she said it's like a conflict of interest. She don't want to work up under him. But if he persuades her enough to work up under him, then he can fire her at any time. So he can date her, treat her however he wants to treat her, and then fire her if she don't do what he say to do. Because in the trailer, Danny seemed like she was off guard for real. Like, I'm in this situation and he gonna sit up and tell her to deal with it. You knew what it is. You knew what it was. Yeah, I'm going all the way over into season 7. But yeah, and that would really make sense if Danny were to have to stay, because she's she's been threatened to not have a job anymore. Danny, don't quit your job to work with him. He trying to set you up. Girl, you do that, you real dumb. Don't do it then. You know what? Do it. Just do it. You will find out. You will find out. Mess around and find out. But anyway, so Tony says the whole thing about working with him, and she says no because it's a conflict of interest. Then he brings up wanting to take her out on another date. He asks about Preston. She says, she ain't with Preston anymore. Then he asks about the date again. She says, yes, we can go out on a date. And then Danny, why you always bring people to your house? You don't even know this man. You don't know this. Oh my goodness. So she says, I'm going to give you the address, the phone number. I'm going to give you all access to my life. Danny just so stupid. I wish I could give her a nugget. You know them nuggets that your brother used to give you when you was saying something stupid? Danny need a big brother. But anyway, so they walk on off after she says she gonna shoot him the address and all that. So then Danny gets a phone call from Sabrina. They talk about the date they're gonna have going on that night. They bring up Rich. They don't want to double. And Danny said she don't want to double date. She probably should have double dated. She probably should have. Anyway, so then while she's talking to Sabrina on the phone, her phone gets a ping. So she looks at the phone. She's like, oh, okay. Because Sabrina did bring up Preston. It's like as soon as she brought up Preston, she got that thing on her phone. And Sabrina's like, what's wrong with you? She said, I got a picture. A picture of what? I thought it was a ping pic the way she was looking. I said, did Tony send you a ping pic already? So gross. But no, it wasn't that. It was a picture of Preston that went and got married. I guess he married Mandy. Mandy said, I'll marry you. I'll marry. If you're really a prince, I'll marry you. Well, I guess he did. So, all right. Preston married. Danny, so you ain't got no choice but to fool with Tony. All right. What y'all think about that? Do y'all care? Is that what Danny get? Yeah. So in the next scene, girl, Andy coming in the office building, girl, she's smiling. She walking in, she's smiling with her yellow on, looking cute. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, she look around and Penelope turns. Hey, Andy. Andy said, I can't catch a break. Like, what are you doing here? Penelope said, I just wanted to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm trying to figure out my own life. I can't figure out yours neither. So while they over there talking about what they gonna do about this Gary situation, trying to fill in the dots, Gary come walking up. What are you two ladies doing? I was like, don't you got a job? Don't you got somewhere to be? See, that's why the FBI is searching you right now. Because you can't be where you say you can't be where you need to be, which is at work, making sure that your book's right. Shoot, you over there getting audited, you coming over here in our business. Make the FBI, you over here laundering money, whatever you got going on. But anyway, y'all, I really thought that this was going to be the last episode until the finale, but it looks like they got one more episode because they did show a trailer. And then season 7 starts January 3rd. Yeah, so he going to get right on into it, huh? But anyway, yeah, this is Sheila B. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know I probably forgot a lot. Charge in my hand and my heart, my Jesus. Love y'all. And let me know what y'all think about Danny and Tamara. And whatever other questions that I asked y'all that I forgot that I asked. All right, y'all. Bye.